sweatifying light is a bit much. But here we are, and I've got something exciting to show you all, and that is my new Sur Ron. It has just arrived, so I thought it'd be fun to introduce her to the rest of the family. You can see there's Tonka over there, Layla, and the new truck parked out there blocking up a bit of road. Luxie was a newer addition to the family, but this is the Sur Ron, the newest addition to the family. So I thought I would set up a bit of a live stream, and if anybody wants to join and ask questions or anything like that, can do. It'll pop up on the screen and I'll ask them. But I'll just get my stuff ready and start doing a bit of unboxing. I think the first thing to do though is get myself a multi-tool so that I can open all the bits, because the first bit is of course the most exciting bit for me, and that is the reveal. So there she is. Get out a blade, poke that over there, and open her up. Very exciting. Some blocks of sturdy cardboard, all right. Some parts might be controllers or batteries or something. More cardboard. Cardboard's gone. Should come out for a big reveal. There she is. It's very exciting. I've been wanting one of these for, I just realised I could tilt that up a wee bit. I've been wanting one of these for such a long time, and obviously the reasons for getting a Sur Ron are multiple and varied. One is I really wanted to do some trials practice, some slow speed stuff where I could do, maybe bits of single track or trials to work on my balance, to work on my endurance, just for a bit of fun. And I wanted to do it close to Sydney, or perhaps even here, move the car out to where it is, and then do some in the backyard. Obviously not going to be able to do that on a smoker, and smokers or internal combustion engines in general, huge amount of noise, it's exhausting. So what I'm hoping is I'll be able to use this in more urban environments. I don't plan on tearing out around the streets with it, but certainly, bits of balance practice here, and then maybe go and find some, unsanctioned mountain bike trials or bits of single track somewhere, go take it up to the farm, those kind of things. So I'm super excited about this. I could see somebody just commented something and then I missed it. There's a place in Bilpin for trials practice. Yes, I've been there. Oh, really? Say hi to him. Disco David is there. Say g'day to him from Harry. The device I'm using to film this, which is a Osmo, I first used with him. So I've done twice gone there for trials practice, actually. So let's keep going with this, taking this apart. Yeah, Bilpin Moto Adventures, where you're doing trials, really highly recommended. He's a good teacher. Really good teacher. Dave is. Okay. Right. These two bits, spacers for the front axle, I believe. I could also bring you closer in here and then move you around for the different bits. So front wheel's going to be first to come off. There we go. Make a little pile of rubbish. Try to stay organised. There we go. Nice. It's an interesting cross, this, between a sort of e-bike mountain bike and a motorbike. So disc brakes, but you can see from the size of that disc, it's somewhere between what you'd have on a good quality mountain bike and what you might have on a dirt bike. Greased up. This is one thing I just will not understand. It's like, oh, but the tyres look better if we put this slick, shiny grease on it. It's like, Don't do it to my tires. Now let's get this off. Whoa, that looks pretty cool, I think. Pretty cool indeed. Controllers and all these sexy bits in here. Charging port. Oh, USB. Beg your pardon. That's an output port. Great. Can charge my phone while I ride. It's on 66% charge. Love it. Love a pre-charged toy. It's like on Christmas when you used to get a toy and be like, did you bring me the D-cell batteries that it takes? Oh no, we're going to have to go to the shop. Oh, the shop's not open. Now they send it pre-charged. Oh, great. I don't think originally they included these. This looks to me to be the front, I think, fender. I don't think the original Sur Rons had the front fender included, and people would just continually, the moment they rode in mud, would be like, I need to get a front fender, and then make one themselves. I might be wrong about that though. So excited about this Sur Ron. I've wanted it for months. I ordered this in November. Okay. Oh, this is, the angles here are, can I zoom out, do you think? This feels very tight. I can zoom in, but not out. Okay. So I want to be a little bit careful with some of these bits, so while I'm yanking at the plastic covers, I'm not yanking at the wires. Not so fussed about back here at the side stand. Working back here. Oopsie. There we go. Oh, looking schmick, looking schmick. Nice foot pegs, spring loaded. All of it seems, you know, China had such a reputation for poor quality. I really think this is, you know, these sort of nice welds. All of it looks really good, and these Sur Rons have been out for a while now, and they just seem to be very reliable. There's a couple of others that I was looking at that I thought, oh, maybe I'll go with that. Like the, what's this one called, what's his name? Denzel. I always remember it by Denzel Washington. And they look like really cool bikes, but the company doesn't appear to have mass produced any of them, and they offer about 14 different ones. Smeg, have you been watching Red Devil? Where's the Smeg? Is there a Smeg part somewhere? Because I do, yeah, I've seen Smeg somewhere. That's right, that's that company, shipping or something, isn't it? Anyway, go to here, cutting off the forks. Okay, getting there. This might be a while to put together, so if you've got any questions or anything like that. I thought you said Smeg. Did I mean to say Smeg? No, I don't think I did. Okay, what's that? I think that's gonna be charger. Okay, charger. Oh, there we go. Pop, up goes the suspension. Press down. Hopefully they've tested that stuff beforehand. That's a handy little strap. Don't you love to get little straps like that length? Little kind of, not ratchet, but grabby strap. Sort of self-tightening thing. So useful for motorbike trips. There, back there you go. feel like some people might have joined in just to see if I give myself a cut. End up rushing to the hospital. Yee, keys. They're kind of cool little keys, aren't they? You get the gist of it even if it's not focusing. Let me just go and check that I haven't blocked somebody from getting in. He's able to get past, but he's not giving me a thumbs up, that's for sure. So, see, throttle, brake, other brake. Some of what I'm wondering about is, will the advantage of having my rear brake on the handlebar, like that is definitely an advantage, but will it make me worse at that rear brake control using my foot? All the rubbish. Okay. That'll speed things up. Too small. Perfect. So I'm going to go handlebars first, then get it off this bit and put the wheels on. Unless somebody's going to tell me for some reason that's a bad idea. So because it's a fair way away, I might try and see if I can get that closer. What I'm doing is just taking this front plate off to do the, you want to get an electric unicycle. Yeah, electric unicycles do look very cool. I will agree with that. Let's get a different view here going on. So, now Adam, the guy from AE Bikes, told me how to do this, and I listened to him, and I remembered all of the things he said, and I didn't at all immediately forget all of his instructions. Okay, those shorter ones are for that bit. Oh, get up, get. So I think the idea is put these on. at least lightly before you put the bars on, so you're not stretching the cables to get them over the end of the bars once the bars are on. Right, so it does have an up. It's got a little arrow on it telling me which way is up. Okay, just lightly at first because I'm going to want to slide those around once I get the feel of it, how far down they need to go. I'm talking about this knowledgeably, I've never done this before. What time of day? It's Friday and it's sort of 1 o'clock, I think. Not really able to check because my phone's doing this at the moment. Yeah, it's about 1 o'clock in Australia, something like that. Had work today until 12, so it's definitely after that. Off you come, little thing. Off you come. Oh, I see, that's sort of zip tied in there. That's okay. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. I don't think that's a dumb question at all. I've been having chats lately with flat earthers where time zones are a big hot discussion regularly. Again, don't want to do it too tight. Just sort of get it in place there so it's on. And then face plate back on here. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so excited about this bike. I'm like a child. I mean, Liz would tell you I've been yammering about, oh, my Sur Ron's going to be here and where are we going with the Sur Ron? Okay. Like that first run. So these, again, if anybody's watching as a sort of how-to, be aware this is the first Sur Ron I've put together. You probably want somebody else's. This is me bumbling through, but the things I know from bumbling is, particularly when you've got anything like this, that is multiple screws, always do them up really loosely and try to sort of go around and around and around until you get them tight. So sort of do one, then the other, and the other. Otherwise you'll end up, you've got this really uneven pressure, and some will be quite light, and then if anything like a bump releases the pressure on that one, then they're all loose and can just fall out. So yeah, it can cause all sorts of issues. So you go in and what is that one doing? And then the counterpoint to that is, which I think I've found here, is if you do strike one that's tough, back the others out and then give that one a go. Number of times I've seen somebody stuck on a single bolt, they're like, I'm going! And it's because they haven't backed out any others. So it's skew-if slightly. Yeah, it's gone in now. A bit of a problem with the handlebars I'm spotting. So I think I'm planning on mostly aggressive riding, so I'm going to have them, and plus I'm very tall, so I'm going to have them tilted down a bit. There we go, rightio. So that's now done. I think now it's time to release the clamp on the rear. So this looks like same as before. There is, same as on the front, there's this tension thing which is holding the shock absorber down, stopping the bike from bouncing around in transit, that's my guess. So I expect a bit of an explosive boing when I do this. Should undo the back end of it and then... I just don't want my fingers in there. Oh, I know what'll make it easier. There we go. Interesting. No pedal on this side. Right, so it's sort of way over this side of the box when it's sent in. Interesting. Okie dokie. I think next stop is put in that front wheel. Just trying to find those. Oh, this is always an attractive angle, isn't it? Ta-da! Oh. Oops. It's now turned off my gyro thingy. So now it's just whirling around. There we go. Now it's woken up a bit. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Keep making the old man noises. So, is there anything in chat I've missed? All chat messages are visible. There we go. Oh, am I going to have a big socket for that? Too big. Yep. I think he said it was a 19. Yep, there we go. And look, some lesser mortals would often say it's important to read the instructions before doing any of these things, but, well, they're lesser mortals, aren't they? Aha. it's got a floating axle right there in the middle. So job is get the floating axle out. Is it gonna no, maybe not, maybe not. Would think it would push straight through, but evidently not. Trying to figure out whether it would just, with a bit of encouragement, yeah. You never know whether you're putting in the right amount of pressure with these things or bashing them, you know? There we go. All the way out now. Okay. Our next step puts the axle back on with the bushes in there. I think I'll also need to take this little thing I spotted in the disc out. Actually, why don't I just take it all together off this platform? And then I don't want that bit resting on concrete just yet, or at all really. So now, this is where having somebody else to help would be good. Looks the same both ways around. Now that goes in there. How heavy is it? It's actually a lot heavier than I thought. It's 50 kilos, but I just imagined 50 kilos feeling lighter. So it's, yeah, it's not quite as light as air as I imagined. I don't know why I imagined it so light either. It just, that seems crazily optimistic to think it would be very light. Oh, wrong way, come back. There we go. All right. I think now this is tough. What I'd almost like to do, and that is flip it up on its head, but I'm not sure that's the best thing. Nope. Don't want that resting on those brakes if it doesn't need to. What about this? Oh, no, rest on the brakes. There we go. It's not like this is the only time it's going to lie down, so I think that's a good meantime choice. There we go. I think that's going to be a bit more conducive to single person assembly. Okay. Alrighty. To show you what I'm doing, I'm over that, trying to get that hole to line up, if that makes sense. Yeah, Sur Ron. Sur Ron, it's kind of like a trials bike, but it's sort of, well, I want to use it for trials like stuff, but it's sort of electric dirt bike, pedal-less mountain bike almost. Anyway, let's get this in, bushes either side. So that needs to go there, and I can do some finagling, and that goes in there. And is it finagling or jiggling? It's hard to tell which tool to use. Still think. Oh, this bit's tricksy. So that's my hint to you, and that is, when you put this together, have a mate come over, or make sure your girlfriend's not hungover and unable to. Feel like she's going to come charging out hearing that. Okay. Put that bush in first and try it again. I am absolutely bucketing sweat and bleeding a bit already. I'm sorry. Sorry to all of you. I'm wincing a bit at that screeching sound on the ground, but I'm out of other ideas. So now I'm going to hold in that bush and try and slide it in. There we go. There we go, that's actually great. Oh, that's looking real good. It's looking real good. Boom. Through she goes. So now. Woo. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna get the handlebars in their final setting in just a bit. For now, last bit is, well, not last bit, we've got a lot left to go, but get these back on. This is one of the bits that the guys from Sur Ron did remind me about, and that is that people often forget this part. Then wonder why their bike fell apart. In fact, I think the go would be tighten that first. axle's spinning freely. Spin that around. Pop one in this side. That's not the best place. Nice and tight, and then nice and tight. Whew. Let's lean it over. Okay, looks like that's spinning relatively freely. So, good question. What was the question? I missed the question. Live chat. Or, okay, DR650 question. Hit me with it, David. What's the range? The range, I think, I heard some guy say he only got 16 miles, which is like, excuse me, 32, not even 20 kilometers out of it, which is way lower. What they claim the range is closer, I think, to 50 to 80 miles. Hugely dependent on use. So my understanding is if you absolutely gun the engine, which is kind of obvious, you get very little range out of it, where a lot of people are like, oh, I play around on it and, you know, get half a day's usage. So yeah, I'm curious to find that out myself. Do I have a case cover for the oil cover? What I have, here we go. Here's Layla in the background here. Bash plate. But yeah, I've not gone. I saw people on DR650. Wow, that is delicious. I hadn't noticed my shirt until now. Ladies, just an ordinary oil cover. But then I made sure I got this B&B bash plate that would cover it, because I don't know if you spotted, but I crash a lot. Did the front axle need a bit of grease? It was, I should have pointed that out. It was already a bit slippery. There was already a bit of grease on it. But that's a good question. I might go for put some more on in a bit. Going to enjoy tinkering with this baby. And I missed another comment. That's a lot of DR parts. Yeah, but I mean, I would check it out and compare it in comparison to the performance, range, reliability of other electric bikes, because at the moment it's the battery that gets you. Battery's about $2,000 of that price. And then a bit of the engineering and the sort of newness factor of it. I would be astounded if in 5 to 10 years time we don't find that electric bikes are like the norm, because these guys already go in like hare scrambles and enduro races. And if the enduro races don't have much flat track parts of it, you know, motocross style parts of it, these things smoke, absolutely destroy the opposition. Smoke as they just blast past them, because even though it's quite weak, it's so light. And there's instant torque, and there's no restarting it, and there's no stalling it, and there's no sort of, oh, manage my revs and build up the stuff, which sure, it's going to mean that I don't have as good clutch control. I'm not developing my clutch control while riding it, but those are the sacrifices one makes. I do know that, who are they? There is a trials bike that have an Escape and ePure electric bike that does have a clutch, and people swear by them. Hang on, let me see that chat. I keep missing it. Yeah, it might not be. It might. COVID, as we all know, has just absolutely ruined supply chains. Anyway, let me keep answering these questions while finishing putting this puppy together. Where? Ah, there it is. So time for the headlight to go on. Make sure you drop the screws, because then you get to show people your ass when you're picking them up. Otherwise, people don't get to see your ass. Mind if I ask you a question? Oh, I used to love Jim Carrey. There we go, headlight on. Then that's the next bit. Oh, even smaller. Always a million goes to find the right size of Allen key. Then you find it and doubt yourself. I'm not sure that is the right one. I think I should be doubting myself. I'm realising now it would have been easier to put the mud guard on before the wheel went on, but anyway. Ouch. You'll get. What have I done to that one? So the problem I've got is it looks like slightly between the sizes I've got, because if I get, if I get that, it'll, rear foot brake. Yeah, rear foot brake and clutch is what I'm missing on it, but I think I'm hoping I'll be able to transfer it enough. Great for training, yeah. Even just static balance in the backyard here, I'm hoping. So I'm just gonna no, I'm still gonna need it for the other one. All right, I'm gonna be back in a second, having hopefully found, yeah, I don't know why they use them. It's like you've got ordinary bolt heads everywhere else. They don't look that great. Why switch it up? I'm sure there's some reason. Maybe an engineer will tell me, but I'm going to go find some hex key Allen bolts kit somewhere. Back in a moment. Alright, I've found my standard toolkit. Needed to find it anyway, we're going up to Lithgow tomorrow, so not that big a deal. And then I've got this whole hex key set. Straight away, out she comes. Okay, so that's out and that's out. Looks like a little plate that sits under the fender to hold it in. It looks like there isn't a little bolt that can go in there. I'll take a look for that. No, it just looks like they've got that plate from somewhere else and haven't changed it. I'm not seeing any place for a bolt here. In fact, it doesn't really... what am I trying to show you? I'm not really able to get that to line up. I wonder if I just need to force it. So there's the hole, and you think that'll just go straight in there, but it sort of struggling to show you, but it doesn't quite fit. I mean, I guess I can go there and then just, but what you'll see then is it's got to, in order to sit straight in front of it, it's got to be on this lip. Unless the idea is that goes on top, but I am fairly certain that's not there, because these bolts would go, yeah, the bolt head passes straight through there, so it wouldn't hold it on. Interesting. Does it hold the back one? No, it still doesn't fit down on the back one. I don't know, what are your thoughts? I'm leaning towards the brute force method of just get it and jam it in there. I'm sweating, tell you what. It's always so finicky. Excuse my bum. Ah, ha! That doesn't screw into that front one. So now it's getting even weirder, because those, let me show you what's going on here. Yeah, I really do. Thank you for noticing. Oh, it's because I now work from home. I just never bother getting fully dressed anymore. Is that anybody else? We're like, how bad does that smell? Pretty bad, actually. Ah, well, who's sniffing me today, eh? Just poor old Liz. So, next thing I'm thinking is, part of it is I've got to stay so bent over for this, but I think I'll open this box and see if there's any goodies in here that'll solve this. Because if I need to explain the problem. The problem is, when I put that there, these holes line up with those front bolts, right? If you look here, there's 4 but those front ones are larger than those back ones. Those back ones do fit the bolts that just came out of the fender, but the fenders sort of divots for the shocks don't line up with that bit. So I'm wondering if there's a whole mounting plate or something in here. Zip ties, always love some zip ties. Some sort of SAE connector. The tools I was looking for. Or good, that's not embarrassing, that's good. It's good to know that I already had them, all of them. Oh, that's fun. Looks like it's a little put my hand up inside, Joel. Little thing, I guess, for racing or to try to convince people that it's for racing, I'm not sure. And then this is my right foot peg. Good. Need that to put my pegs on it. And then this, exactly what I was looking for. Some bigger bolts. The new number plate is where you put the decals. I see. So is it Dwayne to come up with some channel stickers? Slap that on there. These are the guys I bought it from. If you're in Australia, these are pretty much the only guys you can go to, which made me really cagey. I was immediately like, well, I don't like monopolies. So I went looking around for other people. Wasn't able to find them. I was like, okay, I'll use them. But they've been awesome. AE bikes are great. Little bit, like if I was going to give any feedback to them, a little bit more communication, like even if it was just an autoresponder, because they are working hard. You know, they get a 40 meter shipping container, 40-foot shipping container, and have to, some sort of spongy adhesive thing. I wonder what that's for. So they're working really hard. I would just be like an autoresponder or something, being like, your bike's coming in a month. Because I was waiting for the February container since November, and then it's getting halfway through February. I'm like, I don't mean to be annoying, but give me my Sur Ron. Where's my Sur Ron? Okay. I see. So that front thing gets zip tied around the front of the bike. I was thinking the back. So it's going to show me front fender, it's going to show me handlebar, footrest, front mudguard, front tyre, by which it means wheel, and nothing else. So I'm guessing this is an extra that they've thrown in, maybe since people had to keep adding them themselves, functions and operations. Now, all right, we're figuring this out ourselves. Kids, we're going into this ourselves. Okay, so there's 3 bolts. 3 bolts for this front fender. So confused by this. So confused. And I've got my phone, what I'd normally be doing. What are we looking at here? I'm building my brand new Sur Ron. Just got this awesome electric bike made in China, and better than you think. But I'm trying to figure out how this fender goes on there with this plate underneath it that doesn't fit in there and doesn't stretch to there, with 2 bolts that do line up and 1 other bolt hole that doesn't, with 3 bolts here. It's got me confused for a bit here, because I don't know about you, but I love jumping really far too quickly to, I've designed this wrong. Am I the only one that does that? It's like, they've stuffed up, and then 45 minutes later I'm like, oh, I see, that's actually a really unique solution. Well done, guys. So because there's a thing there, but that looks like just where they cut the mold after they've made this. But it's sort of... maybe it does go on top. Maybe this is what I'm now leaning towards. That goes in there. Because it's got washers to hold it. These washers with a little lip on them. A bit weird for the neighbours walking past and seeing me talking to my phone. I guess it's not that weird nowadays, is it? And then they poke out there. And then I guess... no, it still doesn't line up. I'm guessing this is if you want to install your own. And then you just do this without, I'm guessing. Let's give it a go, see how it goes on. Yes, temporary fix that tends to be permanent. I very much agree with that. You're like, I so often have parts of my bike where I'm like, it'll do for now, I'll figure it out later. And then 4 years later, I'm like, I never did figure that out, did I? Shh. Stop looking at my ass. Okay, then we'll go. There. That goes in there. Just lightly tight. I'm with you now. I'm with you now. I get where you're at. I know what it is. It took putting it on to figure it out. But the moment it did, I was like, gotcha. And that is those 4 holes. The front ones do line up with this. Who don't line up with this. This is the back one that goes on to 1 in the fender, 2 on the underside of the stem. I get stuck sometimes between being like, yes, I worked it out, and like, oh, that took you a while, Harry. Not so clever. Which tells me also I've done this in the wrong order and I never needed to remove that plate in the first place. How's that? How's that? It's a good old waste of... that's probably about 40% of the time building this bike has been that one problem. Right, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Back on with this plate that never needed to come off. Oh, I'm thirsty. Could do with some water. I need to figure out which way it is. Which way was it? I think it's that way. I realise I should be giving you a slightly better view of what's going on here. So, we'll get a shot from there. So, shuffleophagus. Oh, the controls are backwards. So that's the plate I've just put back on. And I'm not sure if I put it on
right way round. Should that be back? Should that be forward? I'm pretty sure I put it on right way round as in up and down, but I'm also not too sure about that. So now I'll put that on to line it up. It seems I've done it right both ways. Good. Just check their tightness, because they will be difficult to get to later. Keep dropping them. There we go. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Looking good, I reckon. Swinging around. There she is. She's looking good. She's looking mighty good, I reckon. Oops, it's not stable. Get her there. Nope. Nope. Over on the barbecue then. Round you come. Round you come. All right, almost done with this. So if you've got any questions, we'll soon be able to answer them. Whether you should get a Sur Ron. Next bit's on with the foot peg. What? I see. I was getting confused because there's two lugs here which are side by side but don't meet. But now I realise you actually are meant to put it in skew F. There it goes in. I'll see how that is, because you may or may not be able to see down there, but there is
3 holes I can put that foot peg in, and I generally find, due to my length, so I'm not riding a clown bike, that I move it backwards, but we'll see. So that's on. How comically sized do I look on this? Put this. I feel middle-aged. Does anybody else feel middle-aged when they catch themselves in a paunch? Right, now I think they're going to want to be sort of downward facing mostly. We'll in due course get some bark busters for it, of course. Aha! Found a thing to watch out for, and that is, oopsie, brake won't go in because I've got don't have this in the right position. So there you go. Goes now, but there's not a whole lot of clearance there. Ah, broke my own rule. Went all the way tight with the top one. Should go in tight with them both. Roughly the same. There's like a mill in that. Right. Now I get the angle of the bars. It does feel very small for me. Does it look small for me? Damn it. Okay. We're so close to getting the test right. Come on. Get out. Oh. I'm now realizing the correct order of operations is don't put that headlight on until you've got your handlebars set where you want to, because this is extra annoying having to reach around the headlight. Aha. In fact, I think I'm going to do that, remove it and go again. There we go. Always dropping bits, always dropping bits. Okay, bit better, bit quicker that way. Feels good. Tighten up. One in the mouth, one in the drill. We are so close to finish. Well, I'm pretty sure that's finished. You guys have been sitting here, so of you, for over an hour. You ready to see this thing turn on? World with solar power. Yeah, it really would be, until you look at the current state of photovoltaics. It is prohibitive, which is a bit of a shame. But unless you had them there, I would have ridden it by now, half assembled, no brakes. That's very funny. Yeah. Will you be upgrading it, get the rear spokes and the that real engine sound with a card in the rear spokes to get that real engine sound?
maybe, I mean, what I kind of like is that I think, provided I'm not an arse about it, I can go out and into some really interesting places in nature and people won't really mind because I don't have that engine sound. So the lack of engine sound is half the reason I got this puppy. Whew, okay. I'm excited. Here we go, turning it on. It is in there, in there. And then no and then. Okay, so I'm missing something. I got very excited and now it's not doing anything. Try to look for some other switches or kill switches or whatever I might find. Bet you there's some sort of battery disconnect from the shipping. I think you missed a second Allen bolt under the front fork brake side. You are absolutely right. Who is that? Dara McMahon? I owe you. You're absolutely right. Well spotted. Thank you very much. I saw that before and was like, I'll get to it, and I didn't. If I didn't have you, I'd certainly be up a creek. Okay, Dara, you're a legend. This is why we do this live, not really to entertain you, but just so I don't stuff anything up so badly that I die. I need somebody babysitting me if Liz is going to be asleep all afternoon. So next, let's get this manual. Which is so let's try opening it up and see what's in here. There we go. Wasn't plugged in. So that I now suspect means go time. And it doesn't. Still no go. Aha, right, it seems like there's a breaker under there. Still no. What am I missing? Let's look back through this. Blah, blah, blah. blah, 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 blah. Start method. Before starting, stand on the left side of the vehicle to check. Bang, open whether the vehicle is abnormal. Rightwards to on position, that's what I just did. Insert the key in electric start and turn rightwards to on position. Right. Okay. Here we go, troubleshooting. What am I doing wrong here? Here's everything in check. So something that's a little bit interesting to notice is that throttle is the throttle. I'm not sure, it's probably an installation issue, but it will stay in whatever position I leave it. So I don't want to turn it on and have it shoot over there. They may be in a volt safe state until fully charged. Ah, okay. Might need charging, right? So maybe they've shipped it with 60% and it will not go until it gets back up to 100%. Oh, that'll be disappointing for all y'all, because that'll mean I'll have to switch off the stream for 3 hours so I can turn it back on. Let me see about that. Proper riding, start method, speed, acceleration. Okay. All right, I think this is going to be one that I switch off the stream for, because we've got the throttle grip sticking. Yeah. Got an idea about that one actually. Actually, I'm not sure if yours was a question or a suggestion, but I'm just going to move it slightly out so it's not rubbing on the end of the bar. No, it still does it, even if it's off the end of the bar. Huh. Alrighty, maybe that's a... What's going on? What's going on? Poor thingy. Now, I didn't want to moderate that comment. I wanted to read it because it looked useful. Look them up and they're all sold out. Yeah, if you're in Australia, they're sold out until March or April or something.
Does the kickstand, yeah, checked it with the kickstand up. I think what it's going to be is what they were suggesting about it being sent in some sort of safe mode where the battery will not discharge. That's my guess anyway. Can anybody do some Googling for me? Because I'm on my phone and I don't want to go upstairs for 10 minutes. Yeah, some Googling, like turning on the Sur Ron for the first time or something. Pull the handbrake on, that's not a bad idea. Because I expect to see this thing light up as well. But it didn't. Just want to see actually where that throttle cable comes back to, because the two things might be related. You know what I'm saying? Should just be the spring inside there. I'm going to pop this back off and see. Is there more suggestions coming in? I'll be back in just a second. My current thought is maybe the two things are related, like until you pull some, you know, quite often electric things, there's like a seal. Oh, wow. This is a sexy, sexy boy. Okay, I've done that up too tight, that's all it is. Oh. So the springiness works if let me show you what I'm dealing with here. Throttle does spin back to position if, oh, hello. If this is open, oh, come on. If I pop this open, I've got to do this now one-handed. Oh, come on. Bastard. Just a sec. Yeah, so if that's open, then, oh, I'm not sure how much this is going to be saying. Fine, but then the moment I close that on it, now I get this binding issue. This is silly. I'm not sure about using this Osmo. Maybe a sweat shorted it out. Cable need to be lubed. I think I've found it here that it's binding. A little bit of man boob lube sorted it out. I think the bike is scared of the DRs. Yeah, it's just like, oh, but they have such a pedigree. How can I hope to compete with them? I'm just a young'un. I swear this Osmo is going weird. Every second time I use it to turn, it turns a different way. Man boob sweat.
So happens the moment. This is exactly one of those moments I was talking about earlier where I was like, do you ever too really quickly try to blame the manufacturer for poor design and then later find out that no, it was just user error? This is the bit where I'm going, this is poor design, and it probably is user error. I'll put that back on for now. Now the whole thing slides around. If I don't know better, I'd say that's a drone. Yep. Somewhere up there. Okay, so I'm not sure really where to go with this next. It seems my Osmo is, oh no, it's still alive. It just sometimes freaks out when I ask too much of it. Not really sure where to go next with this. I think it's probably time to wrap it up, which will be disappointing for those of you who are hoping to get a bit of a first ride, but all I was going to be able to do was go up and down this tiny little alley out the back. So what I'll promise to get to you in short order is first ride on this, where I might take it for some single track and trials and stuff. I think the first thing is plug it in and charge it, but that's going to take 3 hours. You don't want to sit around looking at my sweaty face for that. And I need some water and a shower. So I think probably a good idea to wrap it up from here. Just do a feature-length video, yeah. Check the battery with the voltmeter. Well, okay, so that I have also tried. I should also point this out. I have found that it's got, if I... Okay, here we go. It's got charge there. So it's saying 66%, 68%. I'm just at a loss for what else to try. And I think that the suggestion that, oh no, those aren't the keys. These are the keys. So when I attach this, if I detach it, it might do it again. When I attach this, that did come on. hasn't this time, but it woke up. Cut off the circuit breaker before pull out the battery plug. So that's the circuit breaker. That's off. And that's on. Says it's got 68%. Then I snap that shut, get that, put that in there, turn that on. But I get nothing there. And I get no horn. And although I don't really want to do it because if it jumps out of my hand, it'll keep going. No throttles. And yeah, it doesn't appear to have any bit where I would see a thingy side stand switch. So when I'm weighing the probabilities of all of the different excellent ideas that you generous people have given me, I'm going with this is locked, some sort of software lock from the factory to say until this gets to 100% to a full charge, don't discharge at all, because discharge will kill these lithiums. Leaving them discharged for too long will kill them. So I think, yeah, it's gone. That probably makes the most sense to me. Which is, of course, for many of you more than a bit disappointing. For me also, because I was really excited to ride it and to show you how funny I looked on this clown bike. So I'm going to charge it up. I'll see what we're doing. We were meant to be going to Lithgow for a ride this weekend. Footage we'll get up in a couple of weeks. But Liz is a bit under the weather. So we might not leave tonight, in which case I might even pop back on for a live stream later once it's charged up, if that's something that might interest you. Thank you all for spending your time. You've got a lot of things you could be doing and other people you could be watching. So it's been a really lovely way to make this experience fun and enjoyable and sort of communal while being in my backyard by myself. So thank you all. I really appreciate the time, and I really look forward to seeing you some other time. Make sure you smash the subscribe button and send our channel to someone else, hey? Or post it somewhere in something. That would also, I'd really appreciate. You don't have to do that, but it would just hugely help us out. Next part of the Outback Adventure is coming up soon. Last episode that I edited was mediocre, not the most interesting episode. The one coming up we think is very fun. Lots of cool stuff happening in that. So make sure you come around, stick around join us if you can for the premiere of that. Ask your questions. We'll see you there. Thank you all very much. It's been a lovely, fun live stream. Now we go. How do we stop it? Make it end. Good night. Take care all. Thanks. Yeah, thank you guys. Oh no, Skydio. Yeah. Let us know when you got some footage of that. That'll be fun. We'll mention it. Yeah, absolutely. I could do an interactive stream next time I take the DR into Rising Sun Workshop, because they would probably like that in there. Yeah, absolutely. If you enjoyed this stream, we'd definitely do more of them. All right, cheers. Thank you all very much. I now need to make this stop, There we go. Stop streaming. Bye-bye.